Hey everybody, good evening. So by now, many of you have probably watched the first two parts of Surviving R. Kelly, and I'm dying to know what you guys thought of part one and part two. I thought I'd just give my little, recap of it tonight because part two, 3 and 4 will come on tomorrow, and that'll be a whole different conversation. But anyway, before I get started with this, I know based on what I saw on my Facebook timeline from a few people I actually know personally, I know there are people that no matter what comes out about R. Kelly, they are going to blame the women for it. They are going to not blame him, and they think that he's innocent. So if you are one of those people, this is probably not the video for you because it is anything but over here. I am not going to say that R. Kelly is innocent. But what I will say as I start this conversation, I will say that he's not the only one guilty. I'll put it like that. Based on what I've seen tonight from both parts, R. Kelly is definitely not the only guilty party of all of this. He has a lot of co-conspirators who helped him along the way. And that is why R. Kelly has not seen a jail cell. I'll say that. Now, on part one, they start off basically giving you the background of R. Kelly and how he came up and how he came to be known as R. Kelly. Obviously, this man, listen, there is no denying it. The man is a musical prodigy. I have always thought that. Regardless of what I think about his sexual proclivities, the man is a musical prodigy. He was just gifted in that. And so they start off with that he's been singing basically his whole life. But they also mention how R. Kelly was sexually abused as a youngster, which certainly, in my opinion, plays a big part in how he is right now. This man was touched as a child. Now, it came out on Tasha K's video a few weeks ago that the person who touched him, one of the people who touched him, allegedly was actually his own sister. His brother, Kerry Kelly, was actually on this documentary tonight, and he all but said it was a close family member, and if he had said who it was, his mother wouldn't have believed him. He did not say the person's name, but based on the video I saw a few weeks ago with Tasha K, I'm just going to draw that conclusion that it probably was their older sibling. Now, I also believe that R. Kelly was also touched by other people, but I know that this plays a big part in how he is now and what he came to be, right? Also, they talk a lot about how when he first started out, how he still would troll the high school looking for young girls. And that's how we come to know Javante Cunningham, which I mentioned earlier in one of my earlier videos this morning, and how she talked about Aaliyah and how Aaliyah came to be. So Barry Hankerson was Aaliyah's uncle and also public announcements manager, R. Kelly's manager. And that's how they came to be. This part with Aaliyah really bothered me. I don't know about you guys, but that was really hard to watch. Even though we knew a lot of this already, it was still hard to watch that. And based on what I saw tonight, like I said, there's a lot of co-conspirators. The man that was closest to R. Kelly, I don't know if that was his road manager. I'm trying to think about who he was. But anyway, they all sat around and watched this man with this young girl. They said Aaliyah was 12 years old when, R. Kelly started working with her. And now that I've seen it tonight, I'm actually starting to believe Javante. I believe her. I absolutely believe what she said happened because it was, again, confirmed by his road manager, the person that was with him all the time, that Aaliyah, in fact, was with him sexually, and he got her pregnant, and they did get married. All of that was confirmed tonight. All right. As far as her mother denying the allegations, clearly her mother, I know her mom wants to protect her daughter, but I just cannot believe that mom and dad was with Aaliyah all the time. There was just no way mom and dad was with Aaliyah all the time. I believe that they did leave this young girl with this man, and he did what he did with her. And of course, after everything came out, they had the marriage annulled, and then Aaliyah went on to do other things with Missy Elliott and Timberland, and it pretty much act like it never happened, right? So now we move on to the Andrea part of it. No, before we get to Andrea, let's go back. So if you guys recall, it was that other girl, the Hispanic girl that he met, she was 17 years old, that he started dealing with. And that's another thing. There goes another. A 17-year-old, she's talking about how she met him in the mall, how she ended up having sex with him, how she would be in a hotel waiting for him, and he would abuse her. And I'm just thinking to myself, where were your parents? How is it that she was able to come and go in this man's hotel and to spend that kind of time with him, and no adult in her life was present? No adult in her life. I just don't understand that. I just don't get it. Now, she did mention her mother later on down the line. I guess when she got sick, she said, I think she got mono from him or something like that. But the fact that she was allowed to move around with this grown man the way she did, and no adult stepped in. Side note, his brother, the one that's in jail, which I don't know why he's in jail. Let me know if you guys know why he's in jail. But when he started he all but called Andrea ugly when he said that, Andrea, when he met Andrea really wasn't R. Kelly's type. They didn't really think that they connected. They really wanted a match. He was basically calling Andrea ugly. I don't know if y'all caught that shade, but that was kind of funny to me. But he went on to marry Andrea and still had full relationships with these other girls. He was with the Hispanic girl. He was also with this other girl later on down the line in the documentary. And then we meet Sparkle. Now, I'm giving Sparkle a whole side eye on her. She is full of BS. Now, that's just me. I think Sparkle is on some BS in this documentary. And let me tell you why. Now, Sparkle seems to have been around for a while along with Javante, because Javante, Sparkle mentioned that she was a part of that little group. They were backup singers for him at one point. They hung around the studio. Sparkle goes on to talk about how controlling R. Kelly was and how she come to know who Andrea was based on the fact that she heard a little knocking at the door. She heard a little knocking, and then Andrea kind of peeked out and said, can she have something to eat? So R. Kelly's already hiding his wife and locking her up. So all this time, now you already knew about the Aaliyah situation. You went on to work with R. Kelly. You see he's controlling. You say it out of your own mouth that the man is controlling. You see how he's controlling his wife. Then you bring your niece around because you think that R. Kelly can help her rap career. Are you serious right now? When she said that, I couldn't help but give her the whole side eye. You know what kind of man this man is. You saw how he treated his wife. He act like he ain't even married. The way R. Kelly is moving around and all these women are telling their stories, you would think there was not a wife in the picture. That's what blew my mind tonight, is that as these women are telling their stories about R. Kelly tonight, he was married to Andrea. That's what's so insane to me. He was married to Andrea at the time. He was having sex with these different young girls, having menage a trois, just all kinds of shit going on. And he is all the while married to Andrea. And Sparkle, knowing how he is, knowing that he's controlling, knowing she had to know about Aaliyah, even though it wasn't mentioned, she had to know about Aaliyah and the situation surrounding Aaliyah. And you still proceeded to bring your niece in his presence. That is crazy to me. So basically, I'll conclude it like this. What I got out of tonight's episodes is that there are a lot of co-conspirators here. A lot of people are guilty for seeing all and saying nothing. Maybe they were enamored with him being R. Kelly the man. Maybe it was the money. I don't know. But what I will say is that R. Kelly is definitely not the only guilty person. He's just not. There's just no way that all these people sat around, including parents, sat around and just allowed their kids to just be with this man, including these little girls that were hanging out at the studio with him, being there, his backup singers. You were 14-year-old girls singing for R. Kelly. Where were your parents? Javante mentioned how one of her little friends was bent over in the studio with R. Kelly. Like, where were these kids' parents at? Seriously. My head was just spinning tonight. That's all I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have a different view of R. Kelly after tonight, or, you know, did it confirm what you already knew about him? Let's just have a discussion. Let me know what you thought about part 1 and part 2 of Surviving R. Kelly. Part 3 and 4 comes on tomorrow night, and we will pick it up from there. But please comment and let me know what you guys thought. Take care, everybody.